Hey, so I'm going to try to go through those two questions you asked me about and just kind of lay them out for you. So on this first one, you have, so what you need to try to do is look at it individually because this one kind of gets a little funny. So I'm going to look at the inside first, especially since it has these brackets here. I know it can, be confusing with these negatives. So I want you to think about, it says negative 3 pi over 4. So 3 pi over 4 is 135 degrees. But this says negative 3 pi over 4. So really, I'm going in the opposite direction. So the easiest thing to do is do 360 minus 135, and this will tell you where you're actually looking at 225 degrees. So on your unit circle, this is where you should be looking. So it says sine of 225 degrees now. So I'm going to go to 225 on my unit circle, and I'm going to look at the sine. And sine of 225 is going to give me negative square root of 2 over 2. So that's great. So that's this first part done. You still have to do this part. So what this is now asking is, what value will give me negative square root of 2 over 2 if I do the inverse? And remember, with the inverse of sine, you are only looking from here to here. So it's negative, so I know I have to be down here. So I need to look at, hey, where is sine negative square root of 2 over 2 in the fourth quadrant? And that's at 7 pi over 4. But remember, this is from 0 to pi over 2 and 0 to negative pi over 2. So I know technically it's 7 pi over 4, so it's a pi over 4. But I'm going in the negative direction, so this answer actually equals negative pi over. I know it can be a little tricky, but it looked like you got started fine, so you got the negative square root of 2 over 2. But this one's just a little bit different because of those negatives kind of throw it off. So let's look at your second one. So if I look at your second one here, see if this will pull up. So we have to lay this one out. Now this is cosecant. So the easier thing to do here is to obviously put it back into sine. So I'm going to do sine, but you got to flip it, right, to do that. So this would be negative 3 over 2 square root of 3. Now, we never want to leave our radical in the bottom, so that might have messed you up here, because when you do that, we only are moving the square root of 3. So when I go like this, I'm going to multiply by the square root of 3 and the square root of 3. Well, at the bottom, square root of 3 times the square root of 3 will just give me a 3 left over. And at the top, technically I can't do anything. So if we keep going, I would have negative 3 square root of 3 all over 6. And then if you simplify that, this finally will become out to negative square root of 3 over 2. It'd end up being 1/2. So what this then tells me is I'm doing sine inverse of negative square root of 3 over 2. And again, think about it. We're looking at this um, as far as, sine is only in the first and fourth quadrant. So again, since this is negative, I'm going to be down in the fourth. So I need to figure out, when is sine negative square root of 3 over 2? And that's at 5 pi over 3. But remember, we're looking at negative. So since it's a pi over 3, I'm just going in the negative direction. So this solution would actually end up being negative pi over 3. So I hope that helps. But if you have any more questions about it, please let me know.